that are here. You need to talk to some of these other ladies who can maybe help you understand what it is to be a lady.
So, is there like a group of people that beat up men and beat up like women?
Yes, there is. I'll tell you about that too. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. No, this is true. True story. True story. Pastor friend of mine, he's counseling a couple, married couple, and this guy has been hitting his wife. Okay? My friend, this pastor friend of mine, he gets up from his desk and he says to this guy, he says, "You lay another hand on her like that again, and I will make sure you don't get up from the floor." Why? Why? Caregiver. Now, I'm not advocating that you become a bunch of violent people. I'm talking about caregiving. Caregiving. It's anti-being violent people. Hey, if you guys form a little gang over here, and you decide you're going to pick on Chris, little gang here picking on Chris, okay? If Ryan comes and starts defending Chris, it's not because he's becoming violent, it's because he's caregiving. Now, if Ryan decides he's going to form his own gang that's bigger to pick on you guys, no. It's not the way it works. Okay? It's about caregiving. Because you've got to follow Christ. When you look at Jesus Christ as the ultimate example of the warrior man, what do we see? We see somebody that at all costs stood for those who could not help themselves. You see, as people, we're dead in our sin. Dead. How much can a dead guy do? Nothing. Nothing. So our only hope was for somebody to breathe life into us. So you see, Jesus Christ, in His sacrificing Himself for you, gives you the ability to have life. That is your example. Your example is Jesus. Jesus took a whipping and a beating and a lot of criticism and people cussing Him out and taking and nailing Him to wood and sticking spears in His side till He's dead for you. That's who you're supposed to be. That means, in being a caregiver, in standing for truth, in being brave, in being intentional, in being this person, that means if you lay your life down for the sake of somebody else, that's being a warrior man. Being a warrior man is being willing to lay your life down. It's not about trying to take everybody else's life. The guy who's a pretender, who's a fake, who's a coward, he's the guy that runs around with gangs and guns, shooting people, and doesn't care about life. That ain't no real warrior. That's no real warrior. That's a scared little boy that doesn't know how to handle life. That's what that is. Nobody ever taught him how to grow up and be a man. Nobody ever taught him how to become who he's supposed to be. Nobody ever introduced him to Jesus Christ and said, this is what a real man looks like. It's somebody who's going to lay his life down for you. Somebody who's going to treat people with care and tenderness. The way Jesus took care of kids, right? Real warrior, never going to abuse a kid. He's going to live like Jesus. Jesus loves the kids, takes care of the kids. Right? Says, hey, you guys beware, you mess with the kids. That's what Jesus says. Right? So, how does that work for you guys? Any of you guys got a little brother, little sister, a few years younger than you?
2 years already.
You ever pick on them?
Yeah.
Bad news, don't be doing that. Any ever been accused of being a bully at school? Bad news, shouldn't be doing that. The real warrior man is never going to be a bully, never going to be picking on little kids, never going to be picking on girls, okay? That's not who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be following Jesus Christ. The power and the authority that you walk with as a man in this life, and you're all men here, you're just younger men. power and the authority is what is given to you by God. And you walk within that first and foremost. As you're going through this life, start to do these things. Start to do these things. And you know what? That means it's okay to be male. Because I believe God made you with a lot of this stuff automatically inside of you. Don't be too worried about having to figure out how it all fits together, because that's a girl thing. Okay? They say that girls' brains, everything's connected. Everything. Like that color blue, oh, well, that reminds me of this over here. And girls' brains are just like this crazy maze of insanity. So, won't go there. But guys, your brains are like a bunch of boxes. And they don't touch each other. They're all separate. And every box has its own stuff inside of it. Okay? So if this box has math class in it, doesn't have anything else in it, it's just a math class.
Did you say math class?
Yeah, I did. If this box here has youth group in it, that's all it's got is youth group. If this box here has fix your truck, that's all it's got in there. Okay? And guys, the way it works, the boxes don't connect. They don't connect. And you all have one box, and it's probably one of the larger boxes you have in your brain, and it's probably one of your favorites, and it's called the nothing box. It's true. It's true. And it's okay. Don't fall prey to what the world would tell you. You got to embrace your feminine side. No! You don't need to embrace any feminine side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The idea is this. You become real warrior men. You become real warrior men. You become stand up for truth, brave, intentional men who are real caregivers, who are responsible and fun, living with honesty, integrity, and transparency. You become those guys. Then you can find yourself a good wife. That is your feminine side you embrace.
I'm not scared now.
That is the way life is meant to be lived under God. Okay? So you bring it home like that, guys. So anyways, what time am I supposed to be done? 3:30? I got 10 minutes? Perfect. So with that, that's what I had for you guys today. I just really want to challenge you and encourage you to not live on that side and to be on this side. Follow the example of Christ. You guys got any questions? I got a story for you. I used to teach comm class at Westwood sometimes. Yeah. So if any of you in high school, you know comm, career and life management class, right? I used to go teach that class sometimes at Westwood, and I would teach the relationships class. I'd get to come in and talk about relationships. There was a few things I would say, and one of them was this. If you are a real man, and you really care about that young lady, you are going to get to know her family, and you are going to talk to her dad if you can, before you ever date her. And I tell the girls that that guy does not respect you and care enough about you if he does not take time to get to know your family and ask permission to date you before he does. And the guys are all like, well, you're kind of hard on us. You probably got like daughters. No, I have 2 sons. And am I hard on you? Yes. Because I don't expect you to be little boys. I expect